Oh, hi.
Hello.
How is it going?
Exhausted
Code
all tokens
generation issue.
in 3 runs. So very bad.
Exhausted all tokens off?
That AI pipe 10 cents got blown in 3 to 4 runs.
Okay, okay, okay,
The
okay.
one the AI agent project thing code. I wrote it. I thought that it will work, but it sort
Mm-hmm.
of worked too. It is giving the solution, right, in terms of Python code, but it is not executing that Python code for some reason. And it just whatever error it is having, it is just piping that back. But because of that, lot of issues. So I don't know. Maybe we have to, you know, give tooling or functionality. I don't know. Like if the project is only focusing on the questions we have done in our assignments, that's different because then we can create custom tooling for it. But otherwise, if we throw anything at it and this loop goes on, right, 3 4 attempts, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it will work for every case because even if it works, it will take a lot of tokens. So I don't know exactly how to manage that.
And with respect to Gemini, it doesn't complete the code itself. It uses the wake code. Don't know what it's doing.
Hmm. I used AI proxy token, so sorry, it's a AI pipe. Then when that got exhausted, I used AI proxy. Now I'm regretting mentioning that AI proxy did not have a limit. Probably should have told that after project two.
Sorry. AI proxy also you have exhausted, is it?
AI proxy is working, but it's still it is not completing, right? Yeah, or maybe it is having some limit now because not sure exactly. But the last time I ran it, it just gave the Python code in that triple quote kind of syntax, but then it did not really run it. And when it was running it, it was having some dependency issues. So I'll just, I don't know. I hope we've
With
covered all of that stuff.
with respect to Gemini, I don't means I haven't used AI proxy for it, but for the Gemini, the thing is that it doesn't complete the code or triple codes. It will miss somewhere. Every time it will miss something, and there will be syntax errors.
Okay.
And I also tried, means I also tried to feed the same error back into that so that to tell that don't do this, this is the issue. Then next time it will do some other mistake. That's what continue.
Okay. What exactly is design of your?
Means I didn't get you.
Yeah. Exactly is design of your prompt?
Means I am asking, means I am giving it a prompt telling that you are data engineer, you are doing such things. So you have to give me the steps. So I feed the question, then it gives me the steps. Then after that, I refeed the steps and telling that you should do this on this thing such that, and it will give me the code, but that will be error. Then I will feed if it's error, yes. If doesn't give the JSON output, if it is error prone, then I will feed the error back to it. Like this, it will do 2 to 3 attempts. I limited it, means shouldn't go into the infinite loop. So every time it makes the mistake and just gives the error. That's the thing it's doing currently.
Okay. Anyone else who have tried doing something? Okay, let me begin the session now. Let's start with creation of some tools. Hmm. Okay, before starting it, what I'm trying to do is we have some source where we need to get the data from, and sometimes we won't be able to just send a request and get the data. In those cases, this is how it comes to our API. Then this is output, which is basically a JSON array with answers, and this is where our API is sitting. So this box is our API, and if we send a request to some endpoint using request module, then sometimes it might not work. So that's why we'll have to use Playwright. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, I already have some code ready with me, so I will just be copy pasting that. This is there, and then for this I need this one, and then this one as well. First and last line. I don't know why it needs to remove all that. And then this content, I will just write it out to some file. So and let's just try this much of code as of now. And I will also have to use inline metadata script. At any point, if you want to ask something, just open up the mic and tell me, okay?
So what you do now, sir, using Playwright, you use particular site, website, or you are doing any website?
Right now, yeah, any URL it will work. for it will work for any URL.
Okay.
We'll test it out now. So we will be using Playwright because sometimes what happens is it gets loaded in the DOM when we open it in browser, but and we are running it in headless mode, so it won't pop up a window or anything of that sort. It won't do. So yeah, and probably I might Dockerize it as well because I don't want to run it in my global environment. But let's see if it gets some error, then we'll Dockerize it. Otherwise, no need. This is not required. And this example, let's just use project 2. It must also install UV and install a browser. Just use this one. Instead of this, I will just get it from.
So here it is better to run install all these things in virtual environment or
I think, I mean, Playwright, I will have to install it. I mean, something like this, I will have to do.
okay. So we
From.
can we install Playwright in virtual environment also?
Yeah, you can install it in virtual environment as well. I just prefer doing it in Docker.
So one more doubt. So
Yes.
we are Dockerizing it, but the thing is that when we deploy it, whether will on Versal will it give any issues?
No, I'm just doing it for testing as of now.
Yuvraj, did you create all these files right now, or are these the ones from the previous session?
These files which are not being tracked, which are already being tracked, like these one which doesn't have any green symbol, these are these were already present, and these one which are showing untracked, the one in
Okay.
green color, they are these are the files that I have created. I don't think this much of stuff is needed. Mhm. Something like this, and then yeah. Okay, these are dependencies for Playwright. Then it's fine.
You are going to upload it somewhere, right? A lot of stuff to copy.
I was hoping to use UV over here.
Is it better now? I have removed, I have used noise cancellation. All right, okay, okay. This one. Some fail to create task for container, fail to create some task or server and be unable to start container process at an executable file not found in path.
Sir, which URL we can use for it, sir?
Which
Link can be used for it
or
for analysis tool, data analysis.
tools you can use for data analysis.
Tools not, sir. URL. For I made a file data analysis so that we can include an URL to extract the information. That's what how we can do it, so sir.
I'm not able to understand what you will try to ask.
Which website, sir?
Okay, I want to ask one thing. When we are having this tool, right, which is scraping a website, I think maybe this other person also has similar question. We do not know exactly which website we have to scrape, right? Because we are going to get any request, any random request you can get. It could be any website, it could be any page, it could be the data could be of different types. So how does our scraping tool actually, what are we aiming at? Do we just want the entire HTML of the page, and then the AI will kind of figure out how to extract data further, and the have a generic scraping code, or how do we go about this, and how do we then integrate it with the agent which we are creating?
I think first I will go for just hitting the website and get the whole page. Later, I would like to filter that page and probably I will write that out to some HTML file and then later I will uh, from that file something like that. So first it sends a request and then it gets whole document to your in HTML format and then what exactly from that document needs to be figured out. Yes, we need then it gets that data. After that, some cleaning might be required, and then I guess answering the questions. This is a flow that is I, I'm thinking of.
Suraj, can you push the code to some repo or something so that we can code along with you?
But this is broken code.
Okay, this is not working, right?
It's not.
Okay.
It's a fail to exit is not an option.
Jaffa, just a general question. I'm actually using Windsurf for quite like Codium. I was using for quite some time, but now Copilot is actually also working pretty well. So,
Mhm.
do you use like Codium or Windsurf, or do you just now depend on Copilot and have you uninstalled Codium?
As of now, I'm not using coding. Earlier, I used to.
Okay, you have uninstalled, right? Because you were also previously using it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I have. I'm sorry.
Because it is causing a lot of issues as well. Yeah. Thank you. Playwright, do we usually install in a virtual environment, or do we install on WSL, or can we do it either way?
Try to install it in virtual environment. Otherwise, you'll have to clean it.
Also, it's probably a silly doubt. Our WSL instance of Python, is it what? Is it the like the global one, or is it like something else?
A default is global.
Okay.
And let's try to open it in. Let's open it. Is it in others? Yes.
The link for graded assignment 7 is not clickable
Voice
on
is
the
too low.
website.
Your voice is too low.
Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, the link for graded assignment 7 is not clickable on the website.
Yeah, we are aware about that.
I can't click the link for graded assignment 7. So, how do I click it? Okay,
I
okay.
think it's not yet released. Yeah, it's not over here.
But isn't the deadline tomorrow?
If it's not released, then yeah, after releasing only it will be deadline. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, for now.
I can't hear you properly, sir.
Don't worry about GA7. It's not been released right.
It's not released, but the deadline is tomorrow.
Yeah, so whenever it will be released, deadline will be after 10 days.
So, deadline will be updated, right?
Yeah, yeah, it will.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Will it release after project 2 deadline? It will be better.
I'm not sure about that. Whenever it gets
When
released,
okay. The
Sir,
scraping. Oh, sorry. Please.
sir, I joined late. What we are doing in this?
yeah, so far we have just got this HTML with nothing more. Okay. And what we are trying to do is we can get any website and we are sometimes direct requesting that page might not help us. In that case, we might have to launch a Playwright instance to get that page. I even had some website which you cannot just request and get. And
So might as well use Playwright every time, right?
yeah, Playwright will work every time.
Okay, just one thing. When we are using UV to run it, right? Then it is giving this message that it was giving some message that you need to run Playwright install or something. Install the browser. But when I ran it directly using Python 3, then it
Sir, your voice is not clear.
I'm not thinking anything right now.
I think
Now,
someone say something, but voice is not clear.
yeah,
Please,
this was trying to say something. Even I was not able to hear it. Clearly.
background noise is coming too
Yeah,
much.
so when I ran the scraping code, right, it was giving
Uh-huh.
me it was telling me to do Playwright install to install the browsers when I was doing it using UV, right? But because I already had it installed in WSL, I just ran it using Python 3, right? And then it ran without any issues. It scraped the website, right? So how do we handle this if we are using UV to run it? Do we because if we use UV to run it, right, it will get stuck in the even in the environment. So we probably should not use UV to run the scraping code, right?
What is the problem with UV?
So when I run it using UV, right, UV is installing that dependency the first time, right? When we run it, right, it is loading that Playwright dependency, and when you do that, Playwright will tell you to do Playwright install to actually install some Chromium, for the browser for Chrome and Firefox, etc. Right now, that step is not automatically going to happen. Right, we have to do that. So either we define that to happen with UV because it won't have the access to the cache every time, or we run it using Python 3, right? and because we already have the dependency installed in the system, right? If we are already installing via Docker and specifying key Playwright is there, we should probably just run it using the Python 3 command instead of UV, so that it uses the Playwright installed in the server, right, in our instance, instead of
Yeah,
that,
that's also fine.
right? So is
Uh,
it running in UV in your case?
yes, UV is running in my
Okay.
structure of it home. And now this is
Sorry, I missed this. Why do you have DOM structure.py and then as a different file? If we already having the scrape website, right?
I do have that. I just get this bit over here. And it, it is packed in less number of tokens, whereas that the whole HTML was having a lot of tokens. So for the next step that needs some data out of it, I'm just thinking of now
But
giving
can you please repeat the last point you made on tokens?
this one.
Like
Yeah,
the you showed how much tokens the thing
that
had.
was 900 tokens from 989 tokens.
Okay, from 989 tokens to what now we have?
Yeah, now we have got it to 989 tokens.
What was the previous token count?
Previous in the sense this whole HTML.
Yes.
I don't know. Let's see. It will be some 20,000 volume or something. It is not able to maintain. It have around 26,000 lines of code. I don't know what happened to me. As soon as I just read all of it, it just
Okay. Lot of tokens. If it's getting stuck there for this lot of tokens.
now I'm not able to use the browser as now. Let's feed it to this guy. Element of HTML file. Which section of it usually help in producing data for okay, this is the relevant section that it is. So now you can see that it have identify using this DOM structure, it have been able to identify which what exactly needs to be scraped out of it. It was able to do it without this as well, but I think this is maybe a better approach to do it, just in case if it is some other website. So one tool for scraping the website, then understanding the DOM structure. Once we have the DOM structure, we don't need any of these above, which is HTML and header. We just need this body and this structure, which is very important. with this, but instead of injecting from this URL, I just want it from that file itself. Okay.
Okay, I'll just
Okay,
forward
now
the.
this was the table that we
Hey, Jivraj, actually got disconnected. I got disconnected for like a few minutes. Can you just tell what is happening?
needed, but have lost the header name for scraping the website, which is we are doing it via Playwright. We are just going to that page. We are waiting for some time. I don't know if it is in milliseconds or seconds. You might have to change this time as well. And once we that is timeout. If it gets before that timeout, it won't be lasting long. It will just shut down after that much time. Then once it gets that uh, this HTML. So this is that HTML, and it have a lot of data in it, and a lot of this thing. This header. This is not useful to us. Only body tag is useful to us, and that too, only some section of it is actually useful. So for that, we have created one script that identifies the DOM structure, and then it right now it is just printing the DOM structure. We can even save it in some file. Once we have that DOM structure, I think these might have, or else I think yeah, it's over here. And this DOM structure will have very few tokens. And sometimes when you are asking LLM to write code, it might not know the DOM structure and it might generate wrong code. That's why we are now feeding the DOM structure and along with the question. This is question that I want to answer. So uh, write the code that
This is probably
particular
what got my attention
target.
exhausted.
Sorry, this is probably.
I was passing the entire page. That is why my token got exhausted.
Okay, okay. Yeah, might be.
So excuse me, how to identify the DOM structure in the first instance?
How to identify the? I mean, I'm not identifying the DOM structure. I have one script that actually, uh, like, what is DOM structure is in any web page, it is structured in tree-like structure. It has some HTML, and then within HTML there is head tag, and then body tag is also there. Within body there are multiple anchor tags, div tags, header. All these information is there. This is for particularly nav bar navigation bar used to be there on every site, right? So similarly, whatever table we are targeting, it will also have some class identifier or some ID identifier which represents that particular table. Okay, so
I see. The
yeah,
ID and then
uh,
class is it?
I mean mostly these are the two identifiers. Let me ask GPT if there is other identifier which are useful. We'll just get to know about it right now. So ID and class are to import and identifiers for a DOM model. Are there more of such things? I most common user name, yeah, as like if you go to one of these TDS assignment, I guess it's also using name. It either have name or something is there, maybe some question, some parameter is there. Okay, this is just a HTML. So let me go here and inspect here. Okay, so yeah, data question. This is another attribute which is for that particular question. So probably not just these two, but there might be some other attributes as well. And this is not a attribute that is directly supported by HTML. This is our created attribute. So these attributes are for uniquely identifying these tags and everything. Okay, that is purpose of these attributes. So using these attributes, you can identify in DOM structure, which represents this HTML page, and identify a particular section of it, and later you can target that particular section. Okay.
That means this question we put it to LLM, is it? To identify the DOM structure.
No, no. Yeah, DOM structure, we are able to get the DOM structure, which is over here, right? This is the div, and then hashtag represents which um, ID it have, and then somewhere over there might be mm, yeah, it just have, yeah, this dot represents class, all these things. We are now feeding this to LLM, and we are asking, this is the question that I want to do, and this is DOM structure of one HTML file that I have. Now can you write code for appropriate data to be something like that we are asking. Yes. Latency is the content to a file, and what we will be giving is one URL, and then output file. Okay, this is also it can correct, and output file should be give it. Okay, let's give it. And then once we get that, DOM structure is another function that needs to be executed that we have. We don't know. So this have URL. I don't need URL. My name.
Your voice is breaking, son. We don't hear you.
Yeah, that is what it is breaking.
Needs to be updated. So
Yeah, just now quite a lot.
okay, there is this well connectivity. Is it better now?
Yeah, right now, okay.
Is it better now?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
That was because of
It's
some
better.
network connectivity. I'm losing network in between.
Okay, fine now.
Yeah, there is some network problems with my internet. So yeah, okay. What we have got is one is this scrape website that is essential for scraping the website, and later we have another one is which is DOM structure, and it takes a file name as an input. And anyway, this we don't need the LLM to decide. Actually, we can do it as well. So now if I create city and dict and all these things, where it is getting them from are taking.
I can't hear you properly.
Yeah, that's because I'm not speaking anything right now. And this must be AI pipe URL. It must be. This URL that we need to use. Okay, now we have this as well. Please, this is correct name. Then it will be able to respond, create a function and your prompt keep side is if it asks us to scrape the website, then we scrape the website. If it asks us to get the relevant data, we get the relevant data. And yeah, this is fine. And parameters we are getting from here, and then the parameters we are seeing it over here. And then let's see if these two things.
So are you integrating the get relevant data thing within the main?
I'm not sure about if these inputs are correct or not. Or I can just get those functions directly in my main function. Yeah, let's do that. Define. Yeah. Use this, use this thing. It's the, yeah, that's what I'm. And then we are just selecting the JS selector which is given there. And this is same as document.query selector all, which selects all the element that matches this given selector. So this will select all of them, and then scrape website. For scrape website, let me get this itself. So, scrape website. This file is not present, so just copy this file, paste it here. Now we have got this over here. This is main file. What it is asking for is it first need to get the user prompt, which it did not get from us. Okay, let me underscore main and now it should work. So this is scraping bit, and later bit is for answering the questions. So yeah, yeah, there's some yes, I will stop sharing my screen and I will check if that key is present in my local environment or not. Yeah, I have checked. It is there. Those environment variables are there in my Sharsi file. So, and I have changed it a bit as well. I'm writing this response out to a file so that we can debug.
Why is it not working? It is saying it that the response to some choices message error or something was there, right? Huh, like choices. This syntax may be incorrect, right? We can verify that.
It is getting this. Yeah, this is the error that it is getting. Is create the website first, and then only we'll be able to. And it is also asking us to how to get into this file. Actually, it doesn't make any difference, but anyway, so that it is also deciding uh, which function to execute and which are the parameters. Now we have that function defined here. Uh, over here. So it is asking you go ahead and execute the function along with these parameters, which is mm, URL must be URL and then out file. Okay, out file we have anyway load and we have just got and write it out to a single file of the function. Something which is identified by
That choices error. Why was it giving?
voices error.
In it was saying right choices or something where there's some error. How did that got corrected?
Last time.
Huh. Did
Yeah,
the
that
LLM like just correct something?
I just changed this tools. Yeah, yeah, this tools just changed. And required, I also added GA selector, and I got it.
So can you explain the workflow? It actually got a bit messy, so if you clear it out.
Yeah, sure. If you want to, yeah, go ahead. You want to explain the workflow, right?
No.
Yes, you
I'm
can.
asking you to explain like what you are doing, like what is doing scraping for what.
Okay, I thought you wanted to explain it. All right, okay. What I'm doing is we want LLM to make decisions. Right now, we have two functions over here. One is scrape website that takes URL and output file as input, which is defined over here as well. And definition of that function is over here, which needs to be passed to LLM. So this is in natural language, we are defining about that function, what this function does. And like that, we are defining two different functions. One is get relevant data. So this is another function, right? So these are two different functions. Okay. And then we are sending one call to LLM. These are the two functions. Now I am giving one input. So this was the input. Scrape the list of highest blah 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 from this website. So which function it needs to execute is being decided by LLM. Once it decides which function to execute, so this is the function that it needs to execute, and these are the parameters that needs to be used. So this is coming directly from the LLM request. So this is the name of the function, and then these are the arguments that needs to be passed to that function. Okay, that's what we are doing over here.
Actually, sir, there is a lot of files, so I confuse it. So you write a code in main.py, and what are the responses we get? You write in get response.json.
So can you push this code to GitHub
Get
right now?
response or JSON. Yes, sure, I will do that.
So day before yesterday, we work on the prompting. Like, will it work?
Yeah,
Like I'm
actually, day before yesterday we made a file, and inside that we had everything. We pushed that. So today we're doing with query.
On that day, we had prompts that what that does is it breaks down the complex task into simpler tasks. Now, once we have those simpler tasks, we can ask LLM to decide these are the tools that are present to me and which one to execute to answer it.
So,
Okay,
sir, we
so
make a two type of file. Like one, we make a app.py where we call the, and then we do prompting, and then main.py.
you can keep it in one file as well. I mean, how you want to organize is up to you.
Actually, sir, I'm not a coding background. There is a lot of coding. I'm confusing. That's why I'm asking these things.
Okay, first, what you need to do is, I mean, how I'm doing is break the complex task into simpler one. Then send these tasks to function calling, which I just showed you. These are the functions that is there, and LLM is deciding these are which function to execute and what are the parameters to be executed with. Like that, you execute all those tasks, and then you get the response. Like there can be multiple functions. One is scrape, and then get the relevant data. That is another one, and then another one could be why does this elif function name is equal to answer questions then answer questions, and then these are the parameters. Now for answering the question, we will have a function like let me create a function for answering the questions as well. So this is the question. This is the context.
So here's a day before yesterday, you write code in app.py instead of you write all these things in main.py. Am I right, sir?
And yeah, earlier I was doing everything in app.py.
Hmm. Today you write all these things in a single app main.py.
Today I don't have what is there in app.py. I don't have today in my this thing. I can even execute this main.py from app.py. Like I can use subprocess to execute it, something like this. And code subprocess, and then subprocess dot run, and then UV, and then run main.py. I can execute another script from this script like this, or if there are functions defined in that script, I can even just import those functions and run. So, I mean, you can work with multiple scripts as well. For answering question, you will have some code that needs to be executed. So, this is the code, and then yeah, this is not required. So, I code to a Python file and execute it with some process.
In some ways, we are also learning prompt engineering because, like, if we write a comment, the co-pilot is able to guide us better in terms of code generation, right?
Yeah, yeah. When you write a comment, it actually identifies what you are trying to do, and it suggests that. So now what is happening is in these one of these steps. Earlier we had a breakdown thing, right? It breaks tasks into multiple steps. Then these tools are responsible for executing those steps. One could be for scraping the website, then getting the relevant data from that website based on the whole content. But we are not feeding the whole content. What we will be doing is we will be feeding relevant content. And what I mean is we will just be feeding the DOM structure. So that code we might run it in between somewhere. Before executing this code, we can run that function as well, which is DOM structure. Okay.
So please push this code to GitHub.
Yes, sure. I will. And then we have this answer questions function, which is essential for answering the questions. So while answering question, you cannot have pre-written code. So it so whatever code that is being generated by LLM, we write it out to some temporary file, and then we execute that file, and then yeah, the sample output, whatever is the output, either we can write it out to file and we can read it later and to process it like that. So let me add it to the, yeah, then that what happens if I just take this whole question itself? Okay, this we are asking LLM to write a code that answers the given questions. What happens when I just give the full thing at once? You run and then main dot even so this thing. We use if you want to ask something, you can ask me. Yes,
Sir, excuse me, I got a basic question, sir. Yesterday I tried to run
yes,
the
yes.
code you had given us, sir. There, from Google import general Genai, So, but the program, the system asked me, doesn't recognize Google, sir. What to do?
Doesn't recognize Google. Can you just share your screen? I mean, I'm done with the session today, so whatever I wanted to discuss is done. Yeah, you can share your
No, in
screen.
which case I had to run the program, sir. I'll come
Yeah,
in.
please. If all right, okay. Anyone else wanted to ask anything?
We have questions once I go through the entire code again.
Ritvik, what was that?
I'll have to go through the entire code again. I'll try the way I was building. I'll try to consolidate and work on the project. Then, if I get doubts, I'll ask. Because you have already shared the entire code now, so I'll just first go through it once before I ask any questions.
Okay. Do you feel the session was good? I mean, I'm not sure about it.
It was good, like especially now that you are pushing it to GitHub, right? So then we can focus on what you're talking about instead of trying to code along with you too much, right? Because I take screenshots and then I try to write the code via the AI scanning tool. But now if you're sharing it, then I can just instead of writing the code, I can just try to follow along and see what code, why you're writing the code you're writing, right? And and
Okay.
and
Understanding wise, the breakdown of project to
understanding
achieve.
this, yeah, understanding wise was also a little bit clear, right? Because now we are trying to uh, pass as little info to the LLM as possible so that we optimize on the token count. And the general flow I got, that we have a bunch of tools in that folder. Now we actually just they are just functions, right? And we can just write them inside our main.py file, and then we can, any query, we can kind of respond to it like that. And the previous session we just simplified that query. Whatever query we get, uh, break it down to programmable steps. So maybe what we can do is we can get those steps, and those steps we passed as a query in the code we built today, right? So that now that the LLM is getting more structured info in terms of what the query should, what the proper query should be, right? And then it can execute and use all these tools which we have to at least get the data, right? And once it gets the data, then I think the analysis part should be easier to it. If that is also an issue, we can add to the tool set like you were adding. We can add some analysis tools as well. I'm not sure how we can cover all use cases, but we can at least try to cover whatever ones we have in our GAs. Right? So I think that is probably what you were trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, you will have to add a few more tools. So one is for like it's not just always websites. There are some other tools as well. Like we are just connecting to S3 bucket, something like that.
Okay, all that stuff you'll also have to do.
If it is very easy question which doesn't need this complex breakdown, then just go ahead and solve it. Then this question comes in. LLM have to decide which path to take. There might be multiple paths.
Uh,
Yeah, so it also would need to identify which path needs to be followed.
so should we like go through the, if GA questions are a factor, should we like identify which are the common tools for multiple GA questions, and then after we identify which tooling is common, we incorporate those tools or functions in this code, and then the LLM can decide, as you are saying, ki if it's something similar to what we have seen, then it goes and uses the tool. If it's something not similar, then it passes it to, then it kind of generates the code basis whatever DOM structure is available to it, or whatever little info it has with it, right?
First step is it needs to identify if it actually needs to scrape a website. That is the first step because it might not have to. If it doesn't have to scrape the website, then those get relevant data from source, whatever it has scraped. Those things doesn't make sense. So first is to which path it needs to follow. Is it via HTML sourcing or is it some other way? Okay. So if it is some other way, then for handling those things, there would be a different set of steps. So this is not the whole flow. At the very top, you will have to decide if it actually needs to go to this scraping part. If it needs to go to scraping part, then most of the things will remain same. Maybe some prompting you will have to change, or some more tools you might have to add, but not specifically to any GA thing. I don't think anything that is very specific. If it
But
is
more like
specific to the tool.
or more like tooling, right? Like scraping a website or parsing a PDF or parsing an image and getting text data
Oh
from
yeah,
it,
those kind of tools you can keep. Yeah, yeah. Asking
right?
the PDF, yeah, it might be useful. Yes, yes, correct. But does rules even you want to ask something?
Shivraj, did you create the UV.log file or did it automatically get created?
I did not create it. I mean, while I guess it's created. I mean, it's not required. You can delete it, I guess.
Okay. And Docker file you created for the virtual environment, right?
Yeah,
So
the
you
local file is for Playwright, but then later I executed it on my local machine itself. So I did not use that as well.
but this could be like a template for if you want to deploy it to Hugging Face or something, right?
Yeah, if you want to deploy it to, I mean, kind of yes, but there is a lot of fixes that you need to do it in that Docker file.
Okay. But like it's better to do it on Versal only, right?
Sir, in the scrape
I,
website code,
I mean, I'm not sure if Versal will be able to launch Playwright instance or not, and I haven't tried. Maybe it can. I don't know. I don't know, Ritvik. Also, these browsers that gets installed in Playwright, they are around 110 megabytes. So maybe Versal is not sufficient. I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes,
Rescue.
Arva?
yes, so in the scrape underscore website file, the code is being fetched from GPT, right?
Uh, which file?
Scrape underscore website.
Scrape underscore. There is scrape underscore website. Okay, yeah, this code is generated by GPT. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it depends on the capability of the GPT, right? Because what if it's not able to scrape the website? Then what will you do? The
No, no, no,
code
no.
is
This
not
is
sufficient.
pre-written code. This is pre-written code. We are keeping this function available in our code. So every time we will be using the same code. We are just asking LLM to which tool I should run, but the tool is already available on my local machine, so it will always run it.
Oh, okay.
Because we are not asking LLM to write code every time we get a request. This code is fixed, and we are sure that this code will be able to fetch website for me. So I'm 100% sure that this code will be able to fetch the website. That's why
Okay, sir. So it
we have
basically
kept it
fetches
as it
the
is.
HTML of the website, right? and then we work on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Current workflow is we are getting the HTML, then we are just getting the DOM structure, which is just ID class, and if there are other tag, other
Yeah, so that
attributes.
what is this DOM structure, sir?
Yeah, DOM structure is for getting the DOM structure. So, like in DOM, document object model, right? All the whatever page gets loaded on your website, it have DOM structure, and DOM structure have some ID classes, all those different kind of attributes which
Okay, okay,
uniquely
okay.
identifies the elements in the DOM. So we are just get uh, limiting it to DOM structure. Once we have the DOM structure, we pass the DOM structure to LLM and ask, and these are the questions that I want to answer, and this is the data source, which is the element that I should trigger, or rather call it JS selector that I should trigger to answer the question. And
Okay,
then it
sir.
will be able to probably uh, identify which one it needs to trigger, which JS selector needs to be used. I'm not sure about if that the file which is for DOM structure is correct one, or that is also written by GPT. So I haven't tested it. Okay, I'm just warning you before you use it. Just test it once if it is able to, because it have maximum depth is equal to 6. I don't know what that parameter is. Is it for uh, restricting the depth of the DOM? So just identify those things. Okay.
Sir,
I
excuse me.
mean,
Sir,
this may not be
does,
100% correct code. That's what I'm warning you.
sir,
Yes,
does,
Alaka. Yeah.
sir, does that mean that we are not asking LLM to suggest any code? We just ask them to ask LLM to select that tools, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yes. So for scraping website and for getting the correct JS selector, we are not asking LLM to write the code. We are asking LLM to select the correct tool. But for answering question, we will have to generate the code dynamically. For that, we have another tool which is answer question. What that does is LLM generates the code and we execute that code. We write it out to a file and then we execute that code.
So we need to create a loop and all that's necessary, sir.
Yes, some loop will be there, and it might also happen that for those questions, LLM could generate wrong code, right? So you might have to feed it back to LLM. So you get some error, then you feed
Yeah.
it back to LLM. This was the error that I'm getting. Can you correct this code? Like that.
No, but
Just research on sub-process module, okay? You will be able to know how to create the loop.
yes. Okay, sir. Sir, excuse me about my the basic problems are about that Google. I have posted it on that this thing, sir, chat, sir. This is the error message I'm getting, sir.
I'm getting from both Google and location. Can you please share your screen because with this much error, I'm not able to understand what it is.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Sir, are you able to see see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can see yours.
Yeah. So as you see here, it's down now.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me that that import error, cannot import name Janai from Google unknown location, etc.
Yeah, actually it works the same for me. Use generative AI, it works.
Which one
Like,
here?
yeah, yeah. Use generative AI. Do one thing, copy this error and paste it in ChatGPT, it will give you the right package.
I see. You mean